Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Angela, and welcome back to Decan Walk 2023. I just got through watching Marlena Teresa's video that she posted earlier. If I don't forget, because I often forget, I will post the link to her video below. As you know, if you're watching anytime this year since March, she started doing the Decan Walk, and just to get a little bit more just information on the zodiac signs and the planets and how they align and how that relates to tarot, I follow the Decan Walk also. So we are in, and I did not pull out anything. I am not prepared. I have a little planner that I've been using all year. Not really put anything in it the last few Decans, but I do have my little printout that I did in here. It shows we started here with Aries, and then we went all the way around, and now we are over into Sagittarius. It is a mutable sign. I still don't really quite know what those mean. You think I would at this point, but I don't. We just got through doing Sagittarius Decan 1, which was the 8 of Wands, and now we are entering, as of December 3rd, which is today, through the 12th, Decan 2, which is the 9 of Wands. And as you can see, I have a few cards pulled out here, but this is what it looks like if you don't know, in tarot. Upright meaning courage, persistence, test of faith, resilience. And then it shows the second Decan of Sagittarius. This is a yes card, which kind of weird because I would have assumed this is a no card. On edge, defensive, hesitant, and paranoia is in reverse, which I like. And then I have a few other cards here I wanted to show. For some reason, there's 2 decks in here that was just like, pick me. I want to participate. And I'm like, okay. So we have the 9 of Wands, which is, this chapter is called Tensile Strength. It is the Lord of Strength, is the 9 of Wands. And we have the moon in Sagittarius. Now, if we know anything from the previous Decan, Sagittarius is the Temperance card in the tarot. And we already know from previous Decans that the moon is the High Priestess. So here we have the 9 of Wands with the High Priestess in Temperance. And to me, there's a lot of right off the bat, I get a very shadowy energy here. It's almost like the moon is eclipsing the other things, or the things that you've accomplished. Like here for the 9 of Wands, it's almost like you have been through a lot of crap and went through the crazy, and yet you're still standing. And the moon is like, yeah, but it's almost like the moon is overshadowing that accomplishment. Interesting. And if you haven't noticed, I've been using my Journey of the Sacred Bee because it is a more thought-based deck. Also for the Decan Walk. So for the 9 of Disc, it's Gain in here, which here we have the Sagittarius and moon. And then we have the High Priestess with the moon here. And then the Temperance card, which the word in it is alchemy. And that's weird because that's a different one. Oh, that's the 9 of Pentacles. I'm sorry. I pulled the wrong one. Hold on. Okay, that looks better. So, and I felt when I pulled the other card, I'm like, that don't seem right because it's very green. Didn't even dawn on me that it was 9 of Discs. This is the 9 of Wands. So now we have Sagittarius or Sagittarius in the moon. And this feels much more fiery to me. And the key word is persistence, which makes total sense for the 9 of Wands card. And I'm actually going to read really quickly from the book in this deck because it actually gives you a little bit of information on just a blurb, but it tells you, if you don't know the symbols, it tells you, oh, this is Moon in Sagittarius. So, if I could... Sorry, I had a sneezing fit. Oh, wow. How many times can we pause this? So, the Nine of Wands, I'm on Swords. Why does the Wands not want to be looked at today? Okay, I'm in the wrong spot. Judgment, Cups, Wands. Wands were first. The Nine of Wands, persistence is the key word. Moon in Sagittarius, and it tells you right here. Maintaining caution, being strong when faced with an obstruction, psychic or old wounds emerge, but you have the ability to get through it. And I love that. Love that. So here we have, this is the deck I was talking about that I started using, but the cardstock is so thick that I was just like, ugh. It is the Learning Tarot cards. It is basically a way to learn tarot, but also a way to learn the decans too, because it gives you a breakdown keywords, tells you it's a yes card, it gives you the astrology symbol and the zodiac sign, and then it tells you what chakra it is, which I think is cool because I have no idea about the chakras for each card. So this, and then there's a fiery background for the wands, and then this is High Priestess is more moon, lunar, blue, makes sense, and then we have the Temperance here. I just don't know about the cardstock on these. They're just, ugh. And then it gives you the numerology number here. And then the majors, I'll give you a quote. So the Temperance card says, I know my extremes, now I seek peace. So, and that actually goes really well with the Nine of Wands, because the Nine of Wands is this card of ongoing battle weary, fatigue, drained of energy, nearly there, close to success and courage, persistent, perseverance, what does it say? Backbone, learning from past failure, gather your strength. And then it says, fight your corner, last stand. So that goes quite well with the Temperance card. And then here we have mystery, intuition, inner knowing, self-trust, spiritual insight, emotional stability, divination, esoteric, wisdom, knowledge, things yet to be revealed, spirit guides, discovering your truth. So in these specific cards, it almost like the moon is giving you that push, that encouragement. You're almost at the end. You're almost to the point where you're discovering how strong you really are, what kind of person you really are. You going to quit or are you going to persevere? And then of course the Temperance is like, yes, now that we've been through it, we seek peace. And I love that. I love that. It literally just clicked to me how well those sync up together. So that's quite beautiful. So then I have from my Wheel of the Year deck, tarot deck. I love this deck. It's so beautiful. And I just wanted to show it off because I love the Temperance card in it. It's almost like she's a spirit or a sprite of some sort, of some kind of fairy. But her skin is a different color. This deck often reminds me of otherworldly things. And then we have the Nine of Wands. And he is like really trying to get that scarecrow to stay up. And then we have the little flowers in the background. And then we have our beautiful High Priestess here with her book open, reading it. And she's sitting in a chair that's the shape of the crescent moon, which I love. And then we have the Tarot of Oppositions. These two decks, for some reason, were like, show us off, please. I'm like, all right. I never really use this deck because I don't do reversals a whole lot. I bought this deck to do reversals, and then I never use it. But here we have the upright of Nine of Wands, and then the reversal. Or he ain't doing nothing. And then we have the Temperance. She's pouring the water, or milk, it looks like. She's got her third eye going on here. And then here she's dark-headed and she's pouring out, looks like sand. And she's got the dark wings. Look, and I just realized that she's got red wings. And then she's got blue wings. Interesting. And she's got a different thing on her forehead. And then we have the High Priestess sitting again on the crescent moon. And then there she is. interesting. So I found those all interesting. So let's pull our main cards back out here that I usually use. That everybody knows. And I'm going to read you a couple passages from the book here. Not that much I wanted to read out of here today. But it says, we're familiar with from the Rider-Waite-Smith Nine of Wands. He seems fine. Am I okay? Am I all in one piece? Perhaps he has just had a frightening encounter or had to do something well out of his comfort zone. Regardless, self-preservation is clearly on his mind. Which I thought was interesting, that it's literally time to talk to yourself about, it's time to think about yourself. You've been through the muck, you've been through the mire, you protected everybody. Now it's time to rest. It's time to think about what you're doing to your body. And I found that very interesting. So then at the bottom it says, like the silent, and I just covered it. Like the silent priestess, he knows much and says little. In fact, you could say he is the living embodiment of Theodore Roosevelt's legendary mantra, speak softly and carry a big stick. You will go far. Which I thought was very fitting, considering he's carrying a big stick. And he's going far. He's going through. I mean, you can tell he's been through some crap. And I should have got out my bonfire tarot, because that to me is the one Nine of Wands I have where he's got bruises on his head. He's got cuts all over him. He's coming out of what looks like a cave. Like he just battled some kind of wild animal. And that is how I feel on the Nine of Wands typically. So the Nine of Wands and other cards. I believe the Nine of any suit is a magical place. The light of the tree of life gathers in the ninth Sephora, Yesod, or foundation, as in foundation of reality, or of realm. While many readers believe the 10 is the ultimate of any suit because it is the maximum, I disagree. For me, peak power resides in the 9. In the 10, it overflows and collapses to begin anew. Yesod represents the magical backstage to me. If you can create change in the 9, and this had me floored. Okay, listen carefully. If you can create change in the 9, the blueprint of reality, it will manifest inevitably in the 10. Our real world 9s regard reality, and in doing so, produce it. So that just struck so deep with me. Yeah, in the Nine of Wands, it's a matter of, like I just said, are we giving up? Are we letting the battle win? Or are we going to persevere and come out the other side? And depending on how we react in the Nine of Wands is how we're doing in the 10. Right? Like the 10 of Wands is carrying a heavy load uphill, but we could also be persevering. And then the 9 of Cups, right? Where we're spending time with family and being sociable. It all depends. And I never really thought about it that way. It all depends what's going on in the 9, how our 10 is going to be. So I found that interesting. And then below this, it talks about the different suits. The 9 of Wands, peak power in the realm of ambitious and driver. Here we find previously untapped resources within ourselves to do the one brave thing. And that she keeps talking about this card it's the thing that we're doing that's the one brave thing. It's out of our element, but basically. 9 of Cups, peak power in the realm of emotions, otherwise known as the card of wishes. This 9 expresses the heart's desire. One is precious. Its manifestation is almost magical. 9 of Swords, peak power in the realm of thoughts and conflict. Here is the devastating power of the mind to shape reality. Thoughts are dangerous, and we are wise to treat them as such. And I thought that was a beautiful reminder that our thoughts are dangerous, and we need to remember that however our thought process is how we're manifesting our life. That just struck another chord in me also. And then the Nine of Pentacles peak power is the realm of material resources. Things of beauty arise here as if by magic, all the toil of their making having been polished away. Here they attain their value, i.e. what something is now worth to someone who wants it. The everyday Nine of Wands. For me, the Nine of Wands has certainly been a character developing card, one brave thing at a time. It is the Lord of Strength, but it's not the kind of strength that just sits around. It's the kind of strength you need to meet challenging situations, which inevitably arise despite your firmest convictions that they won't. While the Eight of Wands has brought packages and messages to my doorstep, the Nine of Wands typically sends me out to be the messenger, the visitor, the guest. It often shows up for long drives that kind of leave your back sore and your eyes straining. I once got it for a particularly arduous process of passport renewal. It's shown up for internal journeys, meditation, active imagination, shamanic journeying. Very often, though, I find it is a signifier for the last push on something that might be the night before the product launch, the furious cooking before the holiday meal, the last piles of paperwork to refinance the mortgage, the finishing touches on tomorrow's big presentation. Unlike the Seven of Wands, whose effortful nature can be something or of a sustained and discouraging uphill battle, the Nine sees the light at the end of the tunnel, the bullseye at the center of the target, and exerts itself all the harder. The takeaway: when you draw the Nine of Wands, you may find yourself being tested to what seems like your limits. Stay flexible and know that you have the capacity to handle whatever it is. Although I generally partake of Nietzsche's very sparingly, his famous formulation is appropriate in this context. And I'm not going to read the foreign language part. I'm just going to read the interpretation. It says, out of life's school of war, what doesn't kill me makes me stronger. Use past experience to inform future choices and be assured, in retrospect, the journey will prove to have been worthwhile. And I just thought that was beautiful, that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I've always said that, but then there's been days where I'm like, I'm going to die first. I know we've all had those moments where we're like, yeah, we're going to probably die before we get through this. So that's all I have for the Decan Walk. I'm going to go ahead and read this poem real quick, that she puts a poem in every one of these, and I love it. It says, The Archer with His Arrow by Alison Lurie, and she talks more about that in the earlier part of the chapter. I just didn't want to go into it. I wanted to read what I wanted to read. The archer with his arrow dare open out his bow, luck being law of gaming, aiming he may not know where arrows go. The chase, the chance is narrow. This margin narrows ours. Plowers and seeds are slow. No winter harvest either. Neither can trees ungrow, nor brooks unflow, nor fields suck back their flowers. This is the way the warning. Corn and cold fields to grow, arrows to aim where hair is. There is no way I know. Then plant is in snow and sheet blind in the morning. So that was the poem that she put in there for this Decan. And like I said, if I remember, I'll post Marlena Teresa's video below. She's already set up the, the tarot spread. So that will be my next video. And if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, so don't hesitate to comment below. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification button so you're alerted to any future videos. Y'all have a good night.